Well, we were 15 minutes late. We're like, damn, if Cece was here, we wouldn't be 15 minutes late. We'd be 15 minutes early.
We would have had a pre-show if she was here.
You know what I mean?
Word. Lil Reggie, what up, player? As they should. We all come out of one. Yeah, you're damn right, man.
Since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and I came from a woman. I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women. Do we hate our women? I think it's time to kill for our women. Time to heal our women. Be real to our women. You know what I mean?
Because if you have a race of babies that are
gonna hate the ladies. Then make
the baby. That's the generation we in now, man. That's the generation. I watch all these little rappers, man. She wanna skate on my neck. They wanna skate on my neck. All these other crazy rappers. That's the generation we in, son.
Tupac was ahead of his time, man.
Yep.
All right, so for everybody out there, we're going to do this regular LTBR style. Me and Vlad going to talk about our points. We're going to throw it to you guys out there. We're going to chop it up. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a bit of a shorter show. Talk about the one-off weekend recaps. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk about our UM2 predictions and how we see things playing out. Throughout the week, we're going to have guests coming on. We got Misfit coming on this week. We got a couple more guests coming on this week. We're going to keep it hush. Ton of topics to talk about. Ton of topics to talk about. But let's set it off, man. This weekend, we had 3 battles go down. Jada Nightwing versus Shotgun Suge, Rum Nitty versus Drugs, and Jerry West versus Chilla Jones. Mm-hmm. I think I want to start with the rookies versus vet, Vlad. And I want to start there because shout out to the champ, shout out to DNA. He has his show on at Tom Side right before ours. So I was watching a bit of his show before we got ready for ours, and he had Jay on.
Yeah,
Jay has a ton of personality that he needs to. You got to take advantage of it.
That's a fact. Who knew he had this much personality, dog? I was watching, laughing, cracking my ass up, man. Like, salute to Jay, man. You need to turn the camera on a little bit more, brother. But
Shotgun Suge kind of disappointed me when he was there with DNA.
He ain't have the same demeanor as Jay, I'll tell you that much.
Well, he had a quote that I'm going to drop later as an update because I was kind of disappointed in it. But he says verbatim, "Yo, I might have got the second on cam. It's one of those where he didn't beat me, I beat myself." You know what? Let's let the people dissect that one first. Before we even talk about it. What do you think of that quote from Shotgun Suge?
Man, Suge crying and stuff, says 09 Bulls. Suge wouldn't have said that if he ain't choked. It's the Jersey way. Oh, man, says Titus. Top tier podcast on cam? Dipset. Oh, man, I was watching on cam. It's a debatable 30. Jay's second was the best round of the battle. That's what I was saying.
I can't believe Shotgun
Suge.
You
lose the round, Tevin.
I can't believe Shotgun Suge resorted to the on cam excuse. I mean, we've seen how you walked out the building. Like, body language doesn't lie. You literally mumbled, "I ain't doing this no more." There's a video on 15 Minutes of Fame where Drugs in the car. Shotgun Suge walks up to Drugs to get a lighter. He says, "Yo, man, I can't remember my raps. I'm retired."
Oh, man. That's terrible,
That's not the sign of somebody that won on camera.
No, not at all. I think Suge was trying to go to the Sue Surf school of how to rebound after a loss, and it just was not hitting the same way, man. Like, Suge, we clearly watch you get outclassed by a rookie. I mean, Jada Nightwing's second round was probably the best round of the battle. Like, he went dummy in that second round and took it up another level, fixed all the kinks from round one, and elevated. Yeah, and then in the third, New Jersey, bro, there's no way you got that joint on cam. Salute to you for at least not saying, "Yo, straight up and down, I lost." I get it because we hate when our battle rappers do that. But good grief, man, you ain't win that joint, player.
Yeah, no, not at all. But it's just kind of tough to see Shotgun Suge in that position. But if you've been following Shotgun Suge over the last year or two very closely, you're not surprised.
Not at all.
Because obviously this weekend he increased his career CPR rate, which we're about to drop that stat right now while we're live on air.
Stay tuned, yeah. Share that broadcast, yo.
We'll share that broadcast. We're about to drop that stat live on air.
Y'all want that broadcast? If y'all want that stat, drop some props and share that broadcast.
Am I trying to give Suge the first? Listen, man, I'm not trying to give Suge anything because Suge out here trying to give himself the battle on camera.
Listen, I would give Suge the first, man. I'd give Suge the first, and I felt like he just outvetted him in the first. Jay the Nightwing's pacing was just a little off. It was very rookie-ish. He looked like he was facing a vet in that first round. And Suge was just classic Suge that we know and love. And I was like, okay, you got this round. Jay needs to get some things together. But them last two, ain't no debating that joint,
You know, CC, what's the wearing, Queen? Hope you're
though.
having a good day. Yeah.
What up,
So
CC?
real quick, man, Shotgun Suge. This is tough to read, Vlad.
Oh,
All right.
do it, player.
Shotgun Suge has increased his career CPR against Jada Nightwing to 32%. This is now Suge's 11th choke in 34 URL battles. This
That's
is
neat.
really tough to read because when you take this one out, right, that means he's at number 10. And last year he had 9 battles and he choked in 5 of them. So you're choking him in more than half of your battles. And in 2019, you doubled your CPR rate. What does that say to you, Vlad, that over the last 12, 14 months of Suge's activity in the ring, he's increased his CPR rate this much?
At some point, friends, it just is who you is. Like, you know, we've watched him do this like probably like the last 8 battles or so where he's tripped up and around and then jerseyed out of it. It's almost like you know how the routine is gonna go with Shotgun Suge now. Strong opener, sputtering in the second, jerseying in the third. And the numbers just aren't lying. Like if you're choking in half your battles last year, and then this year, all your face-to-face battles, you're also choking. At some point, this is who you are. You might need to go back into the garage and see what do I need to work on? Like what is causing this issue? Don't run away from the issue or the problem. You need to face it head on and say, this is more than a pattern now. This is something that has become habitual. There's something that's going on in my training that is making me choke. Like I need to figure out what is going on because rookie or vet, I mean, this percentage is just unacceptable, you know, and the amount of chokes consecutively is just unacceptable.
Yeah. Something's going on in the water in Jersey because Shotgun Suge, Old Red, Sue Surf, and Twerk have all choked in the caffeine era. And, you know, all their CPRs is pretty high. Twerk's being the highest at 42. Suge's being the second at 32%. Surf's being 31%. And Old Reds, which we haven't dropped, which I'll give you guys now, is roughly around 27, 28%. So he's close to the 30s too. So, I mean, Jersey literally has invented the term of choking. Is that what it is at this point?
That's crazy, man. Trendsetters out here, dog.
Yeah, but we always talk about the loser but never give the credit to the winner. What about Jay's performance?
Yo, Jay the Nightwing was on fire this second and third. I don't know, where was this Jay the Nightwing at Nome? I didn't see the same guy at Nome. Like this is the guy
he was in a gauntlet on Nome. Like he battled 3 times in 6 weeks. It's not the same.
Well, you know what? I feel you on it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let me hop out of the vacuum and then go back into reality. Yes, he was battling every 2 weeks this time, but they still had they were battling every 2 weeks, and this time he had a chance to be refreshed, let his mind rest a little bit, and he probably knew in his mind, I want to get Suge. If they give me Suge, I probably already got some things crafted that I want to get out. And he was just like a wizard with the pen. Like he was going stupid, man. At second and third, that's the Jay the Nightwing that I want to see every time out there. And he's just gaining more and more confidence every time he battles these dudes. Like he's calling out John. He's calling out Cortez. Like he ain't running. He's knocking on people's front doors, man. Salute to Jay the Nightwing. Excellent job, man. Let me give you your flowers. URL gave you the opportunity. You stepped up to the plate and you hit a home run. You did what you had to do. So, Suge did what he did. Unfortunately, he robbed you of a really good battle. But people have eyes, and we realize you ain't no flash in the pan. You're here to stay, brother. So much props to you.
What do you have to say to the people that are kind of critical of Jay's third round when he pretty much redid Checkmate, the Jadakiss diss song? And,
I'm not mad because, Suge did it to Hitman. So it's just a play off of that, paying some homage and just using something against him. Now, if Jay would have just did it and Suge never did that, then, of course, we raising an eyebrow, much like we did when Suge did it in the battle. But because Suge did it, he had a chance to do it. And I kind of like this flow on that joint, man. Like, he actually was kind of entertaining. He got his Jadakiss on, and he delivered it well, man. I wasn't mad at it.
I liked it, too. I'm waiting for somebody to just grab that and put it onto a beat, speed it up a little bit and put it on the beat. I'm surprised that hasn't happened already, but I put it in the universe, so somebody's going to make it happen.
Yes, sir.
All other battles of the night. Let's talk about Jerry West and Chilla Jones. First and foremost, let's throw it to the people out there. What did you guys think of Chilla Jones' performance against Jerry West?
30
Chilla have
Chilla.
mercy.
Chilla have
Classic Chilla
mercy.
30. Jay was the first to beat literally Chilla 2-1. Both of them did good. Man, he needs to call out Verb and Lux.
Verb and Lux.
Not a classic, but good back and forth battle.
Vets can call on John.
Read them out. Read them out for me, Vlad. I'm multitasking.
Vets can call on John, the Don, and DNA and Tez. They will be fine. All right. Chilla been champion of the year for a minute. That's what I'm talking about. The Midwest Movement Bar made me jump out my seat, says CA Low. What up, CA? Flight 96, what up? Chilla will smoke Verb. Woo! Chilla third angle is executed perfectly. Damn right. As basketball fans, that was as perfect as you can get. That Jerry West breakdown, says Q Moody. Hell yeah. Chilla doing gun bars was cringy for me, though. I hear that. Smoke Verb, LOL, relax everyone.
No,
that's
wait,
that Midwest buy-ins coming out there.
No, wait. Why is it cringy for Chilla Jones to do gun bars? I don't understand.
I guess people can't really see Chilla running up with the blicky in real life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's the delivery. But Chilla was crazy this entire battle, dog. Like, he did not take a second off. He wasn't slacking. He must have heard us saying Chilla Jones is like top 2 for champion of the year. It may not be number 2. So why slow down right now? Chilla got in his bag, son.
None of those dudes got the blicky. That's not him. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't buy all that, because I get it. Like, some people have pass, some people are more rugged than others, right? But everybody's there for a check. It's a business. Everybody's there to do a job. So nobody's coming into these venues, these small rooms with guns, right? and people are trying their best to not have these things. So it's just a weird thing to be like, oh, I don't believe this guy. And they talk all this like aggressive gangster street shit. Then when some street shit happens, and we're like, oh, you're killing the culture. What do you want? Do you want this guy to be authentic, or do you want him to not be authentic?
Now, friends, I don't think anyone wants these rappers actually packing guns to the venue and acting out their rhymes. What I think it is that people want that conviction, so that when you say it, I want to at least believe that there's a possibility of it happening. It's just if an actor gets on the stage and they're acting out a part and you're just like, nah, man, I just don't believe that dude in that role. Like, I understand it. This is all entertainment, so ain't nobody really tripping. But I think it comes down to the conviction with the gun bars for a lot of people.
Yeah, Chilla Jones not being on Summer Madness is a crime. Chilla Jones actually never doing a Summer Madness in his career is a crime.
Yeah, no, he earned it this year, man. If there was any year where he deserved to be on Summer Madness, it's this damn year.
If there was any he deserved to be on a big stage, period, he should have. I mean, I guess it's not a big stage, but a big card should have been known.
Big card. Yeah.
Could you imagine if Gnome X had at least had beat out in Chilla? That card instantly goes from a 6.5 to like an 8.5 off rip.
That's right, man. No, I ain't mad at that.
So Chilla Jones' performance, it was really impressive. However, if you've been watching him closely as well, is another guy that shouldn't be surprising you. He's been doing this since his first title match with Real Deal, before he got quote unquote jerked, and everybody said it was the greatest title match they've ever seen. Then it got soured because he didn't get the decision, and there was a bunch of boos, and it took away from how good the match was. But then he rematched Real Deal later that same exact year after going out to London, being on Team USA, and gave back-to-back great performances. Then he has a top 10 battle of the year with Rum Nitty, and his 3 battles this year between Turk, Geechee, and now with Jerry. You can argue his performance has all been A+, been top tier, high level. His writing has always been good, so the writing stands out in this format. He's entertaining now, and he's been entertaining for a long time. So at this point, if you're calling Chilla boring, you're just not watching the game tapes anymore. Chilla has not been boring since at least like 2017, if I'm being generous, maybe sooner. And he's rebuttaling. He's mid-round rebuttaling.
Yo, that mid-round rebuttal was crazy.
Like, what is
happening?
happening?
I don't know if it was a rebuttal or a pre-buttal that was already written, whatever it was. Friends, this is how I remember the battle. First round, Jerry West came out a little sluggish to me. Like, the punches just weren't connecting as hard. Like, the lyrics themselves were cool. Like, I wasn't mad at them, but it just wasn't grabbing me. It just felt like he just didn't have that intensity that he needed. Chilla Jones was on one from round 1, going crazy on him. Second round, Jerry West realized, yo, shit might be getting dark for me if I don't turn up. Turns up, has a crazy round. I'm thinking to myself, all right, this might be 1-1 if Chilla doesn't, do his thing. And then Chilla came with the scammer rebuttal in the middle. He didn't even have to finish that round. I'm like, yo, Chilla Jones just stole the round from me by doing that. And then the rest of the round was still fire. Third round, they both were dope, but Chilla, that Jerry West scheme in comparison was just phenomenal writing. It was just amazing the way that he put it all together in France. As a basketball fanatic, as a basketball degenerate, what did you think of that Jerry West scheme?
It was incredible because I always talk about like Jerry West is like, when you say the word tenacity and resilience, you have to somewhere down the line, like sport-wise, you have to put that guy in a conversation. He went to 8 finals and lost all 8 of them. He didn't win his ring till his ninth trip.
Yo, could you imagine if that was today?
If this was in the social media era, there'd be no way he'd be alive.
Yo, man, Skip Bayless would be on his ass, man, year after year, day after day. He would have been the original LeBron.
I mean, beyond the fact that like media would have crucified this guy, what kind of heart and mindset do you have to make your 4th trip and be like, oh man, this is just not for me? Your 7th trip, and you'd be like, oh man, well, this just ain't enough. And then you make your 8th trip, and you're thinking, this is the one. And then
it took that knife one, man.
And then, but what was so powerful is when he talked about the scoring list, and he talked about how Elgin and Witt was above him. Those are his teammates. I'm like, shit, he's right.
Yeah.
So then I'm stopped to think like, well, how does this guy become the logo?
Right. Well,
I'll let you answer that.
You know what I'm saying? What's understood ain't got to be said.
Don't get us canceled.
Yeah, it's Monday, man. It's too early, brother. It's too early.
I get it. He's got the complexion for the protection. I get it.
Hello.
But for the fact that nobody's ever thought to really flip Jerry West's name that way, I mean, we've seen some logo bars, some logo punches, but they had a whole scheme breaking his name down. Now I'll never look at his name the same.
Yeah, it just goes to show you the level of writing that exists out there. You got some guys who are just surface writers, and you got some guys who like to go to the core of the subject matter. And Chilla ain't gonna play around and just, I might get his scoring average or this or that. No, man, he's gonna paint you the entire narrative and have you looking at the basketball player in a different way also. Like he went stupid with that, man. Chilla Jones, yo, I called it a gentleman's 30, man. And with Jerry being from Brooklyn, it was tough for me, but I couldn't be a sucker. Chilla Jones just outcrafted him in every round, but Jerry was fire, though. He came to play. Stock doesn't drop with this one. He shows he can hang with the writers, shows he can hang with the schemers, shows he can hang with the performers. Jerry West is here to stay. Keep feeding him plates. He's entertaining. He has a great pen. But Chilla Jones just on one.
I'm proud of us. We started with the positives for this battle, but we didn't need to talk about Jerry West's performance. And there's a little concern now because Jerry West did take a major leap, right? Like this is a guy that was on a small contract and they found a star in him and they exploited it because they're like, oh, we got him on a team-friendly deal? Oh, you're going to get all these minutes. You're going to play 40 minutes a game now. And so he went from Mac Mel and Glue Easy, two Goonies that, at this point really virtually don't have careers or are really disliked on the app, to battling John the Don, who's elite and damn near stops every up-and-comers in their tracks. Jerry's probably the only guy to survive. Battles Rum Nitty. Battle Shotgun Sugar in the beginning of the quarantine era in the small room. And now battles Chilla Jones. That's 3.5 top tiers, 4 top tiers if you want to, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy to make that kind of leap from Glue to those names. Of course you're going to get outclassed.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, at some point you do have to level up and get, there's no clear wins clearly unless someone is like just choking or is just purely ass. But at some point the general consensus is going to have to say, nah, he got that one. But with all these battles that he's in, I mean, with the exception of the Rum Nitty battle, because Rum kind of dominated him in that battle. With the exception of that battle, all his battles have been fire. And I mean, we did see Uncle Smizzle tell Drugs, you ain't got to win this battle. You just got to show up and do good. And it just seems to be like that's what is the feeling
Hate to
of the
disagree with
general
your
public
fine
out
ass,
there.
but Jerry didn't die. Well, thank you, but
Mm.
look, I don't know. Jerry's not dying. I agree. I would agree with you,
He ain't
Lavish.
dying.
He ain't dying, but he's definitely like losing clear. But my thing is, you got to give him credit. Like look at this jump he's made. Can you name anybody that's taken a jump like this to battle 3 or 4 top tiers? Like if
Nah,
you
not in a row.
even prior to all those performances, right? If after
Yeah.
the glue battle, you say, "Yo, Jerry now has to battle Rum, John, Suge, and Chilla." What's his record? You're probably gonna say,
Ain't
one.
nobody thinking that he's gonna win those. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're probably gonna say 1-3, 2-2 at best, and he went 1-3, which is probably and maybe somebody argue the John battle. I won't, but
Yeah.
at the very best, you can say he's 2-2 out of those 4 names. And didn't Smack just tell Drugs like, "Look, yo, Drugs, you don't even gotta win, all right, son."
Yo, I gotta stop saying these things on camera, man.
Yeah, Smack looked a little crazy. We'll get into that a little bit later, but it's clear at this point there's some people that the goalpost has moved back for. Some people they just want to see if you can stand with elite names, and others have to win. And right now, Jerry's objective is just to show that he belongs, and I think
That's
he's
it.
done
And he's
so.
doing that. Yeah. He's definitely showed up and he's definitely done his job. I don't think Smack has anything to complain to him about. France, we know he's going to be coming off that rookie contract sometime soon. I can't wait to see how the negotiations go down and what place they give Jerry after that.
Geechee went from Glue to Av, JC, Suge, and Shine. Let me slow you down there. Geechee went from Glue to Av, correct. Then JC. That was a major test. But then your man gets Tech 9. That's a cherry pick, right? He gets to practice on that battle. And then he gets Suge. So I'm not gonna lie, yes, there was a big stepping stone and Geechee knocked it out the park. But like John and Rum are your first 2 battles after a Glue battle. John and Rum is not Av and JC.
Oh, that's a fact.
I mean, it's pretty close though.
Similar paths though.
They're in the ballpark though.
I mean, JC is what considered top 3, top 4 writer by most people in this culture. That's definitely a test. And at that time, everyone just thought, we got to remember when we go back to that era in that hot ass venue in North Carolina, everyone loved Geechee, but it was still like, oh, this is the cripped out gangbanger from the West Coast. Chase C is just such a lyrical god. He's not going to be able to win this battle at all. And Geechee proved everybody wrong. Not only did he have the tenacity to make it out of that 105-degree heat, which JC strangely had a hoodie on in that room.
Quick comments out there.
Go ahead, player.
Q says he can see Jerry West reaching old red ceiling. And Top Tier Pod says this happened to Chef Trez at some point. He took his lumps early on with Rum Nitty. And he put another battle there, just left, unfortunately. JC and Rum. And, it's true. Somebody's got – even Mike P took his lumps right after.
But I feel like aside from the Rum Nitty battle, Jerry West hasn't taken quote-unquote lumps from these guys. Like, he's in there trading punches with them. Like, he's still on his feet when the battle was over. Is he getting his ass kicked, France? Is he getting his ass kicked?
He was fired against Chilla, but I mean,
Chilla listen, Chilla won the battle. We got that, all right? I totally understand that. I'm not even fighting for a round for Jerry West. Don't get me wrong. I'm calling it a gentleman.
So but that's the thing, I guess. This is now where it shifts. People want to know, like, all right, you're fired, but when you're going to start winning, right?
Like you said, he might be 2-2 out of this whole thing.
At best.
Right? You can argue the John battle. You can argue it, right? And he clearly got shook. We seen that. So
West was better against Chilla than he was against Rum. I agree with you, Lavish. He was better against Chilla than he was against Rum. I don't know. I tell you what though. I love when battle rappers like their goalpost kind of moves up for them. URL's looking at Jerry like, yo, let's see if you can compete. But now the fans are looking at Jerry like, yo, can you win? Like, I'm not just trying to watch you compete no more. And I've had this talk with Loso. Loso's like, yo, I get curved kind of differently by the fans sometimes. Like, they have really high expectations. I'm like, well, 1, you set those expectations yourself. And 2, when you become a star, those expectations are set for you, period. Like, do you think back to the early years, 2011, 12, 13, Hitman, DNA, Conceited? You think these guys had low expectations? They had to meet the bar at all times.
Yeah, and the bar's constantly going to move, man. Jerry West need a rematch. Rematch who? Hardcore Flavor cut off. Salute for the prop.
Between Rum and Chilla, you can arguably say he got 60'd. Ouch.
You can. The only difference is in the Chilla Jones battle, he absolutely showed up all 3 rounds, and he looked like he belonged there. In the Rum battle, it was elementary, man. Rum was tap dancing all over him, boy. It was getting nasty for a hot second.
It's fun to see Rum go on cruise control and just like get these wins.
Yo, it's
and then
crazy.
there's a stigma of Rum like, oh, he doesn't win, but then he's winning on cruise control against the people he's supposed to be, and we just take it away from him.
Yo, it's crazy, man. He wasn't even 100% in that. Well, we'll get to that battle, but no, definitely, man. In that Jerry West battle, he was tap dancing all over him. That third round, Jerry was lucky to get, but other than that, it was too easy by the time the third came. It was done.
Shouts to Hardcore Flavor. Let me throw it to the chat and you answer as well,
Rematch
Vlad.
against Glue. Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no, man.
Who said that? Call the police on him.
Hardcore Flavor. You better than that, brother. Come on,
man. Call the FBI on that guy.
We need Jerry versus Danny. I'm here for that.
Yo, do you think it's kind of also – I mean, URL definitely stepped him up to the plate, right? No one's going to say no to John Rum and Chilla, right? But do you think URL's goal is to put these guys in a better what's the word for that when you're like inclining to get to like a certain level?
Elevation. I get where you're going with it though.
Right.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So like maybe they should have put better matches for like Jerry West to like get to that level before they throw him those places, like maybe a Jerry and a Loso first, right? They had Jerry and JC booked, then they recanceled it. Like maybe that could have been something.
Now, friends, you know what happened when Jerry embarrassed Uncle Smack in that Glue Easy battle? Smack was like, okay, I'm gonna line up the killers and the hitters, and we gonna get your ass out of here on this rookie contract. Well, I ain't gotta pay you much. You're gonna die for the chief. And that's what happened. And Jerry's like, nah, son, I'm still around.
It was URL's conspiracy to get this guy out of here. That's what you're saying?
They try to baptize him in the fire. They say, nobody comes to Smack anymore, man. You getting out of here. You saw the curse with Shotgun Suge.
Danger makes sense.
Smack again in the first round, and what happened?
Danger makes sense. A nice pen that will push you and you still win. I like Danger Zone, you know. But you know what? They never gave Jerry a solid name as a test, if that makes sense. Like, he went from Glue to John. Like, that's the craziest leap I probably can recall in years. And it's not like they didn't say, like, yo, take Danger Zone. Let's see if you can beat Danger Zone by performance. Let's take Big Cannon. Let's see if you can get past Big Cannon. Take Suge first so you can get past Suge. You know, take Big T. They didn't throw out another name to make sure to verify this guy was ready.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, he went through it's like taking an AP course, man. When you know a kid is that gifted, sometimes you just skip them out of that regular class and you throw them in the college class. And, you know, Smack believes in you that much. We're going to see if you can sink or swim. Ain't that the whole purpose also behind rookies versus vets? Like, we know these guys technically aren't supposed to win, but are you ready? Y'all pop all that hot stuff. Let's see what happens when we put you in front of certified vets. And that's what they did. And he survived. He did what he was supposed to do. So now they look like geniuses.
Tell you what, though.
Battle chest and loss level scales. That was a real tight battle. I was there. I edged Jerry West in that battle.
Jerry needs a win soon. He needs a win real soon. Because a fourth loss.
But you said he got like 2 joints you could argue out of these 4 battles.
Yeah, well,
you mean he needs to dominate somebody? He needs to like clearly win?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I got you on that. I got you.
He needs one of those. Like the Suge battle, he beat Suge, but that's one of Suge's performances where he added to his CPR, right?
Yeah.
And the John battle, you could debate it, but most won't. But so I'm off Jerry West and Chilla. Shout out to Chilla Jones for having this champion in the run year right now. For a lot of people, he is now the front runner. So Vlad, this isn't news to you. You've been saying it for quite some time now. And if URL keeps this guy aligned, I see it really hard for somebody to take it away from him. I feel like Chilla Jones has that perfect combination of being loved and respected by the fans and also meeting to his skill level, which is really hard to maintain because all it takes is that one performance for everything to shift.
And Francis, one more thing you forgot to add. He's still in that point where he still has to gain some fans' respect that just like weren't always on the Chilla bandwagon. And it's happening now where even the hardcore, I never really rocked with Chilla too much. He's not really my cup of tea. Even those people are starting to change. And the thing with Chilla that would make him a great champion is that he's an ambassador. He's a spokesman. He's already had the chain before in a whole other country's league. And now he represents what? Preparation. He represents a guy who takes it seriously. He represents a guy who gives you 100%. He has a great pen. He's becoming more and more exciting now. You know, you never hear any BS that's coming from Chilla Jones or whatever. Like, he is focused on everything. While everyone has all these other things going on that are distracting them from that course, Chilla Jones is locked in. He wants to bring that belt back to New England, brother. You know, Tom Brady is out. He wants to be the champ now.
Can we get spicy on Chilla Jones before we go to our last topic of the weekend?
What's up?
And let's see if the chat enjoys this one too. How much do you think King of the Dot regrets not just giving the title back to Chilla Jones when they had a chance?
They're looking crazy. What do you guys think? Fam, Q Moody. No regrets at all, says Hardcore Flavor.
Wow.
F them people, says 09 Bulls. Landlord Fonzie, Jerry 2-1. Is that Fonz in the chat? What up, Fonz?
What up, Fonz? Jerry 2-1. Oh, okay, Fonz. Rolling with the new wave.
What? Hey, yo, Fonz.
So you're saying the chain is for sure fixed? Look, okay, so I'm not saying that it's fixed. I'm just saying if you gave that guy a rematch, there was a goal to try to get him back there, right? Like, there's never been a rematch that quick in title match history on King of the Dot. So obviously there's probably like, all right, well, I mean, we need Chilla Jones in this position. And I love Real Deal. He had a heroic story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of him fighting through all the adversity and the emotional stuff that he was going through. But at that moment, the league has to just think about their future for a minute, right? If the decision was that close, split by a hair, you got to favor the champ. What you say, Vlad? You got to knock the champ out? You got to knock the king out?
You got to knock the champ out, man, especially if you come into the champ's town in his own gym and you don't knock him out, you don't take the belt home. That don't happen.
We said it the second Chilla lost in Boston. There goes King of the Dot's like future for quite some time because now they lost the Rum and Chilla battle, which manifested on King of the Dot.
Absolutely.
And they had that title rematch, which was just as fire, and they lost out on that. And I love Real Deal, but he wasn't out there scouting and doing all the things that Chilla Jones was doing. He wasn't as active. You know, he couldn't physically be as active as Chilla Jones was. So you guys lost out.
They definitely lost out, man. Fonz, if you're still in here, somebody suggested Jerry West versus Fonz. That's a fire battle, France.
I ain't mad at it.
That's a fire battle. I'm here for them punchlines all day.
I ain't mad at it. All right, let's talk about the last.
Man. Fonz says, nah. Come on, man. You get Hollywood already, baby? You take that 25 home, and now you're like, nah.
Well, technically, he's 4-0, and Jerry might be 1-3. You know,
I hear you.
On paper, he's got the opportunity to say no. Drugs and Rum Nitty. Let's talk about it, Vlad. I think the expectations were extremely low for Drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was at least proud that he showed a ton of heart, showed a ton of effort, and people kind of disguised the word heart and effort as just saying he got outclassed. But I don't think so. I think his first round, he really came to play. He really pushed himself. He elevated his writing to the best of his ability. And I think he displayed what a Drugs could look like on 100%. Like, that might be his ceiling. And if he can at least maintain that against other level of competition and other names, I can see him winning battles. He's across from Rum Nitty. So, like, that's not going to work. A lot of things don't work against Rum Nitty, but that's across, like, a franchise. That could beat a franchise.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. France, I got to admit, man, going into the battle, I know Drugs is good, but I always felt like he always hits a certain ceiling. That first round versus Rum Nitty was explosive, dog. Like, I'm sitting back going, oh, shit, Drugs is really leveling up in front of our eyes right now. Like, he had the focus, he had the determination, he had the punches, he had the delivery, he had the projection, everything that you need and you wanted to see in this battle, he set it off from the first round. And I'm like that's what you need to do when you're facing someone versus Nitty. Someone who's such a fan favorite, someone who just has such a strong cult following. You're probably not going to win in the eyes of his fans no matter what he does anyway. But what you need to do is grab their attention and let them know, nah, there's two people in this battle here, and you got to watch what I'm doing. And I just thought the level up in round one was just like, it was stupid to me, man. Salute to Drugs for stepping up to the plate and for Nitty for giving him that shot because we know he ain't have to do that. He's got his own thing that he's doing. He's chasing goats out there. But he came back and gave him the shot, and Drugs did right about him.
Before we talk about rum and drugs, shout out to Rum Nitty for being a constant professional.
Mm-hmm.
Literally left Virginia that same hour to catch a flight, landed in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Landed in Milwaukee, and
Tim's hometown.
yeah, shout out to Tim, and battled Coogee and gave him a fire performance too. He ain't mailing it over there neither.
He gave him some work. Now, France, I was on Twitter late last night, while I'm changing diapers and all that, feeding bottles. And I'm seeing LL Cool J caught the, he got Nitty out of here. LL Cool J kicked his ass. I'm like, hold up, man. What's going on here? I'm like, let me check out this battle. Dog, Nitty did his numbers. Like, he really went stupid on him. Like, freestyling too. He dropped the whole line about the Andis shape up clippers and all that stuff. Son, I nearly almost threw my baby up. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what's going on here? Where'd you go? I almost threw the baby. You know what I'm saying? And nah, man, Nitty went crazy. 2 for 1 that day. Come on, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, Nitty's angle to Coogee about, like, this is why people like you don't get the respect, paying your way to the top. You had more battles than me, but then before I got on URL, you had more battles than me right now in your career, and look where you're at. Like, all that just hit home too much for me. I was just like, you know what, Coogee's gonna have some fire bars. He's gonna have some dope punches because obviously he's in front of Rum Nitty. He's gonna inspire him. He's in his hometown, so there's a lot of extra home cooking.
A lot of extra home cooking.
But like, you just that angle, you just don't beat it.
Nah, man. And he's freestyling on you, and he's doing the typical Nitty joints. Like, it was crazy. When I watched it, I was like, salute to the Midwest. Y'all be up on Twitter super late supporting y'all peoples. But nah, man. Nitty went stupid, man. Salute to him.
Yeah, no. But back to Nitty and drugs. Listen, man, he took both these up and comers the same day. No stumbles in any of these rounds. 4 rounds.
Yeah. Slight in the third versus drugs.
Hey, he's trying to get out of there already.
I hear you, but LTBR, you're just gonna ignore Nitty stumbling in the third. You're just gonna let him get off clean. I see Nitty can do no wrong. You guys just love Nitty. You give CPR to everyone else, but Nitty, he had a slight stumbling. You guys just let him go. You wild as that.
I'm done off this. Rum Nitty 2-1. Congratulations, drugs, for stepping up to the plate. All right, man.
Yeah.
We got 20 more minutes on the set, Vlad. And you fucked me up with that one. That was hilarious. A few quick questions out there before we jump into our next topic before we close up. I seen would you like B-Dot versus Kid Chaos? I like that match. However, B-Dot is having a Champion of the Year run, so I want to see him go for the big dogs. I want to see him continue to add wins and names that'll elevate him. That'll elevate Kid Chaos more than B-Dot. Jug stock went all the way up. Nitty is the GOAT puncher, Steve Kerr. Facts.
Oh, that line was so stupid.
That line was insane.
That line was so stupid, man.
That line was absolutely insane.
Talk about simple but complex at the same. Like, we can talk about Nitties right now all day, man. Tim, can we please do a decon with some more Nitty rounds, brother? The people want it, man.
He's trash. Who's trash? What's happening?
Who's trash? Level Scales?
Yeah, what's happening here?
Drug stock went way up, says Project Rico. Project Rico, what up, player?
His stock definitely went way up.
Hell yeah.
You said JC's trash. Yo, listen here, Level Scales. Let me tell you something. JC and Kid Chaos, I have a feeling it's booked. Kid Chaos says he's booked for his Rookie versus Vet match. It's something that we've all been talking about. I would have liked Chilla and Chaos. I don't think it's going to happen because Chilla is now just ascending up. Although Chilla does like Kid Chaos, I do think they got JC back. So, yo, JC, you need to handle this responsibility over here. And let me tell you something. I would be delighted to see JC give Kid Chaos a lesson.
Ooh. Oh, man. You know, Chaos going to want to come up here and retort that statement right there.
We're
brother.
all invited to JC's funeral. JC does not play nice with people lower than him. Craig Lamar's been choked. Yeah, it's Craig Lamar, though. Craig Lamar is not Kid Chaos. I'll give him that.
JC is super consistent in the pen, says Ty. What up, Ty? Kid be feeling
Kid
himself.
Chaos is JC 2.0. I don't agree with it. He's more like Chilla, in my opinion. Consistently mid. Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yo, y'all playing. Y'all
Tell us
keep
how y'all feel.
keep playing with JC, and then he come and smoke some shit, and all y'all be like, "Oh yeah, this is a top writer. He was top 5 in Champion of the Year voting 2 years. You know, he's always beats the people smaller than him in lower competition." I heard it all, right? And y'all keep lowering JC's expectations. He's only gonna show y'all that he's not nothing to be fucking with.
Oh man.
Yo, can't be having them disrespect JC. I feel you, Ty. I have to defend the disciple all the time. I got JC, but it'll be close. Yeah, TTP. We know Kid Chaos. Kid Chaos is your man's. We know this. That's your boy.
Kid Chaos damn near co-host at this point, Ledge.
Right, but JC still from homebound, so he gotta.
Loso smoke JC.
We ain't doing that. JC disrespect.
We just did it. Rookie fans need to go back 11 years in battle rap.
Project Rico, I don't have that much time for 11 years of battle rap.
Yo, could you imagine trying to go back 11 years in basketball and watching all that trying to creep up?
But that's easy, though, because like the highlights in the games are like maybe 10, 12 minutes. You could watch a game's recap in 10 minutes. Like, so you can catch up on mad shit if you just binge it. But with battles, like, one battle is almost an hour.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
Right? Question, what's your top 5 caffeine battles? Oh,
interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I need a list of them.
Off the top, Chaos and 6 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Geechee and no, Daylight and Rock. Can't believe I didn't even say that one first. Daylight and Rock's in there.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say Geechee and Verb, but I feel like there's better ones out there.
Yo, strangely enough, like I really enjoyed the Fonz and Easy joint, man. And I say that because I didn't really have that expectation of Easy, but that was the battle where he turned me into like, yo, you know what? I fucks with this cat, man. And Fonz was doing what he was doing, and like the second and the third was just stupid. But Easy showed up, and now I'm checking for Easy. That was one of my favorite caffeine battles so far.
Loso and Nun. That's a goodie too. Loso Nun was a goodie. Yo, Mike P and Ryder. That's the top 5 caffeine battles.
Jay, what are we talking about? Yeah, Mike P and Ryder. It's up there, top 5.
Nah, it has to be top 5. It broke too many storylines to not be top 5.
Still talk about it. Sick and Jay definitely up there too. That was fire.
All right, Vlad. Let's talk about these quick round 2 predictions. We've already submitted our media bracket predictions into URL, and our predictions are Emerson Kennedy 2-1, Danny Myers 2-1, Bill Collector 2-1, and Mr. Wavy 2-1. So let's go through all these one by one. Let's just start with Mike P and Bill Collector. Let's get it out the way.
Let's go.
We talked about it a little bit on Friday, but now we're with the Monday crew. So everybody out there, Mike P and Bill Collector, where you going? What's the direction? Mike P
2-1 says hardcore flavor. Mike P 2-1. Bill gonna make him cry. Oh man! So Mike P's gonna win, and Bill's gonna make him cry. That's crazy.
Mike is sending Anthony. Bill to the gulag. I like that list, TTP.
What is the list. Gulag?
It's a Call of Duty reference.
Get petty. Who?
It's a Call of Duty reference.
Mike P gotta drown. Damn, gotta
drown. Let's get
Mike
petty.
Is sending Bill to the gulag. Mike P gonna do all that yelling, and it won't
Mike
matter.
P lost my respect when he was crying in battle, with all that crying in battle rap.
Oh man, what up, Big Sosa? Mike P 2-1, Danny 2-1, EK 2-1, None 2-1. Fan vote W.
Gulag is the Russian prison in Call of Duty. Mike P is not in the right mind after the Ryder battle. Is that Mojo? I don't think that's Mojo. She has an icon, but what up, Mojo 88?
What up, Tim?
Y'all naming battles not on the app. Hope y'all homeschooling y'all kids.
None 2-1. Bill 2-1. Holmesy 2-1. Danny 2-1 says 361 dub.
Vlad, are we still? I mean, we picked Bill 2-1. Do we have any regrets?
I mean, I don't. I don't. I feel like when I watch the battle and the battle is over, that Bill is going to be victorious. I feel like Bill is so multidimensional, and there's an angle to be played there also because, as we know, Bill had a hand of bringing, Miss Ashley into the URL's fold, and there's a storyline there that Bill can expound upon. And Mike is going to have to spend some time thinking about, do I counter this? Do I not counter this? Like, round placement, all of that stuff. So Bill has more material to make Mike worried about than Mike has to make Bill worried about, if you catch my drift. So to me, I just feel like Bill is going to be prime, man. He's motivated for this, dog.
I actually feel the exact opposite about how you feel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I think the pressure is actually on Bill Collector. Because Bill Collector doesn't know whether to use this angle or not because it's out in the air. Can you execute it as good as Ryder? And if you don't, you flop that round. And Mike P has a round that, forget Bill, now he's talking to the public. So when Mike P addresses this, he's talking to the world. Bill's non-existent. So Mike P has to find a way to make sure he can tie this in where it's like still direct, but also like addresses what's been going on. So it doesn't matter who's in front of him, Mike P's gonna have to address this. Bill's the one that has to be the one to say, do I counter this or not? Do I touch on this or not? Because what if Mike touches on it and I leave it completely alone and now Mike looks crazy?
No. You got to touch on this subject. You have to. They say don't kick a man.
Bill has
to. They say don't kick a man when he's down. And I think to myself, I couldn't think of a better time. Bill has to drive the point home. And there's something that you forget, friends. Bill is a hilarious character, and never underestimate the power of humor when it comes to battle rap, because you could have the bars, punch, flow, and then you take that small comedic break and you get everybody cracking up laughing. Yo, ain't that more embarrassing than a room full of people and the internet laughing at you all in one time? So when Bill starts that humor with the performance and the storytelling and all that stuff and the punches that he got, the flows, what if he gives you a little bit of serious Bill? Nah, man, I just think Bill just has too much going on inside for this battle.
I think Bill has a better approach of actually being serious, of telling Mike where he went wrong with his public relations route.
But this is what I'm saying.
You're saying comedic. I'm saying,
but he can do all of those. He can drop you with some comedy and then get serious on you. You know how effective that is back to back, to laugh at someone and then someone does the real talk right after that, and you go, oh man, like this is crazy right now. You know how effective that is?
Well, I'll say this much. Now that the angle is existent, right, there's a bar for that angle. And, of course, you're going to have a different approach for the angle, so you're going to spin it completely differently. People will look at it a different way. But you now kind of have like a standard to meet if you use that angle. And if you don't use it as effective as Ryder did, it's instantly going to just be like, oh, it didn't work out.
Hey, listen, I mean, how many times have we heard about Old Red in that house in St. Louis? And every time it hit. So it's just a matter of how you deliver that angle. It doesn't have to be the same angle that Ryder had. It could be, totally different angle, but, based upon the same people and all that. And it could be just as effective. So, nah, man, I don't see that as being a deterrent as to him winning the battle at all.
Fans mad he won the last battle. He'll probably lose on the fan vote. Bill arguably 30 T-top.
That's another thing too. That's what I will say. It's
the main thing is the wrath of the judges
to go to the fans. Like, cannot allow it to go to the fans if you Bill Collector.
This guy fucked the girl. Don't hit, man. Danny B. Chess. All right. Look, I do think that there is some pressure on Bill because of the shift in love and hate. And we've already seen it from round one, being that favorite, being that guy that everybody wants to buy stock on. And there's that one guy selling somewhere in the corner. That guy's the guy that's going to make profit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what, though, friends? In this game, too, man, we know what kind of game battle rap is. Like, people don't want to hear you feeling sorry for yourself. Oh, woe is me. And right now, people are feeling like, Mike is being a little bit of a crybaby. He wants the room to be totally empty when he's battling. Like, people just see that in the character, like, right now. And you know how battle rap is. We don't like that. We don't want to see that. So we're already on the side of, like, you're going to have to prove to me that you won this battle because you're doing all of this whining out here. And, we ain't seen nothing from Bill. We just see Bill preparing, get ready for his battle while you're out here, going back and forth with Ryder, with Henny Man, and now you're whining. We don't want to hear all that. So I feel like Mike is putting himself behind the 8 ball to where even if you felt he was fantastic in round 1, he's going to have to be amazing in round 2 just so we could lay off of him for a little bit.
Yeah. I just think there's pressure on both sides when you look at it that way too. I'm writing a piece on Mike P that's going to be dropping tomorrow called Mike P Then and Mike P Now, because the swing in his fandom is just incredible, and the fact that this swing came from things outside of the ring is really interesting to me. But some of the other battles before we still got 8 minutes left. None and Wavy.
None and Wavy, man. This is a battle that we went back and forth on. It was a tough trying to make the decision. And, personally, I was feeling like None is on such a good roll and with so much to prove and never really gotten to taste the main stage or like real success or, get that respect in the URL. I felt like he had a lot to go on and I thought that he was going to win the battle. But, you guys managed to sway me back to the other side and the general vote went for Wavy, man. Can you let us know how that went down?
So in our voting process, we were going to put None in, right? Because we kind of just felt like we stuck to the stigma. Wavy's content is very thin. None has figured out the formula, all these things, right? But then we stopped for a second and removed ourselves from the box and realized None was being slept on drastically by the fans. In the words of Loso, I didn't sleep on None, you guys did. And None having that heroic win brought back like so much love from the fans, so much respect, seeing him like amped and screaming in the camera, all that passion. It sounds like somebody that just had like for a long time just had a bad habit of like life where they woke up late and always got to work late, was eating bad, not following responsibilities, procrastinating.
Drinking at night.
Right. And now it's that person that like just changed their diet, changed their sleeping habits and got a better job. And now just like life is just so much more organized for them. When he says, I figured it out, I believe him. But then I went back to the games because I realized, None had a lot of impersonal battle rap references. Those kind of run thin. And Wavy's performance, let's be honest, he broke that stigma. He had bars in that performance. Everybody's like, oh, there's no bars. If there's no bars, how do you win?
That's a fact. Against the Bossmith, right?
Right.
Come on. How do you win?
What up, Dutch? And Wavy's performance, I just watched it back and like I don't want to get too hyperbolic on it, right? But this was like a Chinese version of Hitman. Like, you go and get the bootleg version of something.
What?
This was like the smaller version of Hitman, just running around, moving, performing the bars out. And I'm like, you know what? This little bit of performance really works in this room.
It absolutely did, man. It absolutely did. But my thing is the 2-week turnaround. Like, if this is someone who's clearly he came with bars in round 1, but now you got that short window of a 2-week period. Like, how potent are those bars going to be in round 2? We know you're going to have the delivery.
Dollar store Hitman. I like that.
Oh, man. The great value holla.
It's the Dollar Tree Hitman right here.
Wow. Salute to Dollar Tree. I got that on my watch list.
So we just hit back the game tapes, watch Nun's battle over, watch Wavy's battle over. And I do think Nunn will be really inspired. I think he's going to do very good. It's going to be one of those battles where he loses, but the fans still love all the effort he brings. And Wavy just shows that, I'm very experienced. I've been in front of a lot of names. I've been counted out. I'm a good performer. I'm a good angler. I work good under short time limits because I don't have to rap 4 or 5 minutes around and drown you guys out.
That's a fact, man. Salute to Muscle Hamster and Project Rico for the props. Much appreciated. I mean, I'm excited for that battle. I want to see what can Wavy bring in 2 weeks, and can Nunn continue his Kirk Cousins-like enthusiasm? Can he bring that back into round number 2? And, either way, as long as he has a stellar performance and shows people like he deserves to be there, I think, man, he might be the comeback kid of the year if he's able to have a dope-ass performance, and either way it goes, he can still stand tall, and then, he's going to get a plate on one of those off weekends or whatever. That might be the comeback kid of 2020.
We got 4 minutes. Emerson Kennedy and Holmesy the God. I feel bad for
Mm.
Holmesy. I feel like it's another situation where he's being heavily slept on. Unfortunately, he's just in front of somebody that people see as more skilled. People are buying more stock into. So this is the second time he has the exact same landslide of a poll. And it's got to be fueling him. And it's got to be really tough for him to say, well, Emerson Kennedy was probably one of the best people last in the first round. I have to step it up. EK and Holmesy. I see an EK 3-0. I see a Holmesy 2-1. EK is the best
2-1.
rider in the 20, and he'll perform it well. Vlad, your take on it?
EK's not Saga. Bruh, I just that EK pen boy is just too crazy, man. It's too crazy. And I feel like performance-wise, they're not that far off from one another. EK might edge him out slightly in that, but I just feel like the EK that we saw in week 1, that's going to continue on into week 2. And I feel like he's going to edge Holmesy out. Holmesy's going to do great. Holmesy shocked and surprised me. You know that. I was on the Saga bandwagon full steam ahead. And Holmesy clearly was the better man all 3 rounds versus Saga. But I feel like EK is not on the Saga wave right now. EK is on his incline. This is his opportunity. He was kind of slighted, let's be honest. He was the last person picked after 2 people decided that they didn't want to be in this competition anymore. And he has something to prove also. I got EK in my personal bracket going all the way into the finals. So there's no way I'm going to pick Holmesy the God to win this battle. I just feel like too much pen, too much persistence. EK is going to edge this battle out 2-1.
There is one big flaw that EK has, in my opinion. He's not too charismatic. He gets into his poetic, lyrical bag for 3 full rounds, which kind of drowns him out. But he's really gets a chance to benefit the fact that nobody else on the side of his bracket is charismatic neither. You don't got to worry about Danny or Tink making jokes and swagging on you, and you definitely don't got to worry about Holmesy doing all that neither. So he gets the luck of the draw there. But I do think that's a flaw that he has. If he was like in front of like a bill collector, like that's a real matchup problem for Emerson Kennedy.
That definitely would have been a matchup problem. But no, man. I mean, he is showing more personality now off the scenes. You know, he had the little chain link thing and everything, and you see him cracking jokes now with Uncle Ra on the set and everything like that. So you know the personality is there. Maybe we see some more of that now that he's comfortable and got the vibe of the room and everything. Maybe we see some more character come out in this round.
And let's end it here. We got 2 minutes. Danny Myers versus Tink the Demon. What do you guys say out there for that battle? Wavy is choking. Yikes.
Wow, Black Harris.
Wavy never chokes.
Thank you, bro. I just hope.
Danny 2-1. EK. Holmesy has more personality than EK, though. He does, but not in the ring. I don't think so in the ring, Dutch.
Danny clear. No debate, says DC Man. Danny 2-1, says Mojo88.
Torture
motherfucker. Mad voice. I'll fuck you. Danny 30.
Danny 30
demon flips.
Well, I'm not ready to give Danny 30 if Reaper was able to get around, right? Like Reaper choked the battle and was somehow able to get around in there. But Tink, there's only one way I could define his performance: inconsistent. His first round, he looked like one of the worst battle rappers in the tournament. His second round, he looked like one of the best guys on his side of his bracket. And his third round was like it was the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen, and he advanced. And Danny, I personally thought Danny's style would get cringe with no audience. He looked dominant.
He did. France, I think Danny's been waiting to get into this Gravediggers horrorcore bag for some time now. You know he's a movie buff. You know that he loves horror films. And now he's got the perfect opponent to like unlock this new hidden horrible Danny character on. You know what I mean? I feel like he's waiting for this. The 2-week time period is way more than enough time for Danny to get his bars out. I just cannot see a universe where Tink the Demon can win this battle. I think he could have a dope-ass round. I think he might hit, a horror ceiling and really have a passionate round. But Danny's going to be on for all 3. There's too many demon flips, Tink flips, horrorcore lines. Like, it's just going to be too much, man. He's too seasoned at this point, and also he's not battling every single weekend like he was before where that pen could run dry. This is like luxuriating time for Danny. He has enough time off to really dink that pen in that inkwell again and come out with something potent. I don't see
Tink kind of his first round. I mean,
That first round was, come on. There's certain words, certain trigger words. Shout out to my man Ledge. Certain trigger words I don't use because I know these guys are human and I respect what they do and the entertainment they provide us. But that first round from Tink the Demon was anemic, to say the least, man. It just wasn't hitting, dog. But that second round, though, showed you exactly where he could take it to. If he has 3 of those, we got something to talk about, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, that concludes us for today. Vlad, we're gonna cut it early. Tune in, guys, tomorrow. Same time as always, 10:30 a.m. The podcast will be on YouTube, all streaming platforms. Our girl will be back later this week.
Yes, sir. Shout out to CC.
We got a ton of topics to talk about. We still didn't even touch on the surface of Av and Cave Gang. We didn't touch on the surface of Chilla Jones, really. A lot of topics. The Queen of the Ring, Tony, this should be in the works. Wink, wink, right? It's a lot of things still circulating in the culture. So stay tuned. We saved all the best for when we have our full squad available.
That's right, man. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Subscribe on all streaming platforms. Subscribe on YouTube. And thank you for joining us once again. Remember, make LTBR part of your morning routine. Follow us on Caffeine. Share this with your friends. Let them know to follow us. Turn your notifications on so you know when we're on, because sometimes we might do surprise pop-up shows. If you guys were here Friday night, y'all know me and friends, we would turn it up. So turn those notifications on and we will see you guys next time, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, we off.
All right. Good shit, bro.
Solid.